Well, hello, ladies, gentlemen, and whoever or whatever you identify as. Welcome back to the Car of Chaos. It is I, Gobby Guy, and yes, I'm back. Well, I've already been back, really, for a while now on my new channel, Pitbull Gaming 66, which of course you should be popping over and having a look at. But the thing is, that I want to keep as it is, which is a sci-fi chat channel with gaming. And it doesn't need to be dealing with or have anything to do with what I'm going to talk on this channel, which is politics and the current state of the universe, let's be brutally honest, which is at the moment in totally shit order. Right then, so what we're going to talk about, I've just mentioned. Be prepared, there will be swearing, and there will be rants, there will be angry. Be prepared also, as the warning will say at the beginning of this video, to be offended and upset, because the truth of the matter is I'm going to be saying things that people won't agree with and people will find offensive, because that's not hard nowadays, is it? Let's be brutally honest. Everybody gets offended by everything. So what we're going to talk about, obviously we'll be doing some videos on the current situation in the Ukraine and Russia, but what I'm going to talk about now is the hysteria that's surrounding this conflict. It's not a war, and in another video I'll explain why it's not a war, it's a conflict. Any case, so Russia has invaded Ukraine, and well, yeah, that's bad, and of course it is, and don't think that anything that I say on here in relation to that is belittling it. Conflict is something that I know a lot about. I also know how horrendous it is, how vile, disgusting, and it shouldn't happen. But unfortunately, it does happen. In fact, unfortunately, it's been happening a lot. But of course, the media want you to know about this one. The media will tell you that you should care about this one, while turning a blind eye to everything else. And if you're wondering what I mean, is the Saudi Arabians have been bombing the Yemeni people, it's a bit close, all the U's and Y's, for years now, but we don't mention that, and we don't talk about civilian casualties and such things, because of course they've been bombed with weapons supplied by the British and the Americans. So as we're making a tidy and nice little profit off it, we'll keep our mouths shut because it doesn't count. And if you are against the war in Ukraine, like all you poor sheep are, because you're being told to be, you should be against that war as well. But of course, most of you watching this video probably didn't even know that war was going on. I also would imagine that you hadn't realised or didn't know that for the last 8 years, the Ukrainian army have been fighting its own citizens in the two disputed areas of Donbass. I can't remember the other one. It'll be up here on the screen. And they've been doing that for 8 years, and there's been horrendous things happening there. But of course, because the media didn't tell you, you weren't prepared or understanding of it, you didn't even know. But now all of a sudden, because the media want to tell you, then you've got to get interested. The other thing, of course, with the media is the fact that everybody's been shouting, ranting and raving, and for the last 2 years through the pandemic, they've been lying their asses off. But all of a sudden now, you really want to start paying attention and believing everything they tell you. And in some of these videos, I'll actually prove to you, you are being lied to. What you're seeing is not what's actually happening. In any case, but then again, because that's the same with everything. But in any case, what I'm going to talk about now is the ridiculous hypocrisy and virtue signalling of people, especially companies, who have decided that the Ukrainian thing is the next, take the knee BLM bullshit protest, where they're going to virtue signal their asses off because they don't want to lose any customers, just in case some sad idiot decides that because their goods are being sold in Russia, that people will not buy their stuff here because of the war. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, Apple and Nike apparently are not going to sell their stuff in Russia, even though they'll just get it from another means. The Co-op and several other shops in the UK and those in America have pulled Russian standard vodka off the shelves because, of course, not drinking vodka would stop the war. And people are going to say to me, well, as I'm saying this, well, it's all about denying that. It's not denying the Russians anything. All you're doing is giving more ammunition to Putin to prove that the West hates Russia. But of course, and we get people like Deborah Meaden, who was very much against Brexit, who promised to leave the country if we voted to leave, and unfortunately still there. He's now telling everybody don't buy Coca-Cola because Coca-Cola won't pull out of selling its stuff there, even though, of course, completely irrelevant that Coca-Cola has a massive factory in Russia that makes its own Coca-Cola. But of course, stop drinking it because Russians. I've just heard that Team Haas have sacked one of their Russian drivers. He's up here because he's Russian. I mean, he's done absolutely nothing wrong, absolutely fuck all to do with anything, but because he's Russian, he can't have his contract. We've had things like this on the screen now where, you know, you can't use the meerkats in the adverts anymore because they're Russians, because I stand with Ukraine, virtue signalling bullshit again. And the thing is, I don't understand how you companies don't get this. You people don't get this. This all companies do is virtue signal. When it's LGBTQ, they all put rainbows on their things and then they take it off. They don't give a shit either way. All they're doing is making sure that they don't offend somebody who might buy their product. And we had the Black Lives Matter stuff, and now it's everybody's putting Ukrainian flags up because that's the new thing that we need to virtue signal about. We've had Russian this cancelled, Russian can't have the Russian ballet, can't have this. Oh, Crufts are banning any Russian dog owners. The international cat thingies are banning Russian owners of Russian cats from displaying their cats. Because this is all their fault, isn't it? People are ostracising anything and everybody who's Russian because the media and stupid corporations and idiot blue checkmark twatwanks on Twitter are telling you to do so. What is it like not to have a brain? You tell me how it's got anything to do with anyone who's Russian, or anything even got Russian on it. If you really genuinely believe that this is going to make a fucking difference, you're an idiot. And it just shows you how easily you're led. But then again, the last 2 years of the pandemic have made sure that a lot of you will only do as you're told and only believe in what you're told. While all this is going on, in our own parliament, in the UK, they were discussing about the vaccine and the harm it's done and the people it's killed. Pfizer had to force their test data, which has demonstrated thousands of side effects. Some of them not dangerous, some of them are. But of course, all your attention has now been drawn away because, oh look, there's a war, care about Ukraine. Now some people might say, oh, you're heartless. I'm not heartless. As I said at the beginning of the video, I understand full well what the war is like, what war is like. And I know how evil and terrible it is, and it's not right. It's never right. There's never any justification. Violence should always be the last option. Always. And even then, you really have to think hard before doing it. You've got to think of these things. But the simple truth of the matter is, this war has come at an exceedingly convenient time. And the reason why Putin is doing what he's doing, there are multiple reasons. I know we covered in other videos, but the truth of the matter is, while we're all so busy arguing over our sexuality, our gender pronouns, and all the other stupid virtue signalling bullshit that we live through, all this woke crap, we've made ourselves look pathetic and weak, because we are. Because we're more concerned about only having one opinion that the teachers and instructors will give you about life, and not expect anything else. We've made ourselves look like the laughing stock of the world because we're too obsessed with pointless shit. Meanwhile, places like Russia and China are just getting on with it. Stop blaming the Russian people for a war that has been started by their leader. And again, I've just said war, it's not a war, but I'll cover that in another video. I'll explain to you why I don't see this as a war. But it's stop selling stuff in Russia, stop talking to Russians, it's the Russian. Literally, this is everything that you don't do normally, isn't it? No, just think, if we were now in a situation where there was a terrible terrorist attack committed by Muslim extremists, the very first words out of all the blue check marks in the media is, don't blame all Muslims, it's not all the Muslims' fault, which is correct, let's be brutally honest, because it really genuinely isn't. it's the fucking idiots who did it's fault. And maybe a crazy fucked up religion. But it's not everybody's fault. And we'll go to great pains to make sure, even creating the bullshit word of Islamophobia up, which is just rubbish, to be fair. But we will make sure quite categorically, don't blame the Muslims, it's not them, it's just an idiot. Yet, in the very next breath, we'll go, Russia's invaded the Ukraine, ban everything Russian! It's they're all Russians! Ah! Are you mad? I sit and watch and listen to people, and I see things on Twitter and Facebook, and I've experienced like things of people who've spent probably the last 2 years going, oh well, if it saves one life, it's worth it. And now the same people are going, war! War! Kill all the Russians! Ah! Don't you see that you're just being led by the media? Don't believe everything you're told. 2 years we were continually and absolutely and massively lied to. In fact, which is what's been conveniently covered by the war, discovered and distracted from by the war, or conflict as I like to call it, is the Pfizer data, which proves that the Pfizer vaccine isn't safe at all in any way, shape or form. Or the fact that in our actual UK Parliament, we're discussing the fact that people are being killed and irreversibly harmed by the vaccine. But of course, that doesn't count anymore, does it? I mean, let's be brutally honest. This happened in the Ukraine, and where the fuck did COVID go? Poof! In an instant, in 1 hour moment, it disappeared, it vanished, it vamoosed, it gone. And you've all gone, Ukraine. Oh well, and thoughts and prayers. Let's put the Ukrainian flag up on my post. Let's stand with Ukraine, when you have literally no understanding of the situation at all. You're only doing it because you can't think for yourselves, and you rely on the media to tell you what your opinion is. As this thing up here on the screen, it's very true. What are you offended at now? Don't know, they haven't told me yet. You literally can't think for yourselves. You will gladly sit and suck up any shit that you're told and believe it. I mean, we'll have the old, the Russians have targeted a nuclear power station with artillery, which, well, prove in the next video, total lie. Why? Because the Ukrainian people, or so to say the Ukrainian leadership, are desperate to drag us into a third world war. They lied. Absolute, complete, blatant lie. But the media tell you, and for some unknown reason, you believe everything they say. I know this just today, while I'm just recording this video, the Daily Telegraph put a thing of a Russian helicopter getting shot down by a SAM. Oh, you know, really something the other. But it's extremely dubious. Like many clips that are coming out of there. I mean, this one shows you a helicopter flying and a rocket going, it can blow and crash it into the ground. But you don't automatically question, well, why was the camera there? Pointing in exactly the right place, perfectly still, as if it's fixed in position. Why doesn't a helicopter in a combat zone, like it would do, take evasive action and deploy countermeasures? Why is it flying on its own? All helicopters have radar, infrared and radar warning systems on board. As soon as that missile locked on, beep, 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 will be going in the cockpit. They know they've been locked up. They would not carry on flying in a straight line. You're being lied to on a massive scale again and yet again. You freaking suck it up like the idiots that you are. And this is what this is why the Gobby Guy has been returned, because I know what I'm saying. People are going to have a go. They're going to get angry and aggressive at me and stop calling us idiots. You are. Because honestly, if you can't see what's going on right in front of your face, that you are raging against anything Russian, and you don't know why. You're doing it because you're told to, because a company will tell you to not buy the Well, it's all right. We're not selling our stuff in Russia. Everything's fine. Because it's Russian, isn't it? Well, it's got nothing to do with it. Oh, well, it's all about economically ostracising the Russian president. The only people you're hurting are the Russian people, which apparently, for no logical reason, you now fucking hate. And what you don't realise is, by doing all these things, by hating, being, stupid and hating Russians and insisting all things stop being given to the Russians, you're just giving Putin more ammunition to be able to point to the West and say, see, I told you, they fucking hate us, don't they? This is what I'm standing up for. This is what we're doing. I'm doing this because everybody in the West hates us Russians. Look at them. You're feeding into the ammunition. You by doing what you're doing because you're told to do it, you are escalating the situation. You are making it way, way worse. You are helping Putin justify what's going on. Absolutely 100% giving him the ammunition. How is it Vlad down the road's fault? How is it that Formula 1 driver's fault? How is it Russian cat owners' fault? How is it Russian dog owners' fault? Why the fuck shouldn't Apple sell their stuff in Russia, even though they'll just get it through the back door? Why shouldn't Russians wear Nike trainers if they want to? Why have they got to get punished? Why? Because you're told that's why. Oh, we have to. It's all. Well, it's Russians. So you're hating Russians for what? Any valid reason? Please, just do me one favour. If you've watched this video, stop and have a think exactly why you are hating and going mental at the Russians for. Is it because you genuinely understand the situation and you are genuinely stupid enough to believe that it's everybody else who has anything to do with Russia's fault? Or is it Putin's fault? And let's be honest, as you'll find out in other videos, multiple other reasons why. And with that, I'm going to bring this one to a close. I hope you enjoyed this video. I mean, if it upset you and that, well, I'm sorry, but somebody's got to sort of give you the alternate, different point of view, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? Different points of view when it all boils down to it, and giving you a different way of looking at it, just for once, whether you agree with it or whether you don't. Think. That's all I'm ever going to ask you to do. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm telling you just to think. To stop blindly following everything you're being told and think. Use this. Don't be a sheep. So if you did enjoy this video, please like and share. If you want to watch some more videos like this and any other things, there's going to be similar things like this, but I'm going to start calling out the ridiculousness of the world and the ridiculousness of how people just suck it up without even a question, then feel free to subscribe. Don't forget, if you want to watch gaming and stuff and light-hearted sci-fi stuff, then there's Pitbull Gaming 66, my other channel. Pop on over there. Won't be as serious this, because it's just gaming and talking about sci-fi shows, which, yeah, could get serious at times. Any case, there's my other channel. And with that, and as always, and until the next one, I am going to love you and leave you.